see, when we talk about toxicity in relationship, we often think it's the men that are usually toxic in relationship. I'm here to let you all know that not just the men that are toxic. In fact, the female toxicity is even much more deadlier, because most times people don't see them as being toxic. They don't really show of pity, because we are usually portrayed as the fragile one. The man has to be the problem in the relationship. The woman is innocent. No, it is usually not always like that. Sometimes women, ladies, can also be toxic. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you the signs that tells, or that shows that your woman is toxic. Number one sign that tells that your woman might be toxic is that she's always the victim. She's never responsible for whatever mishap is going on in the relationship. She always plays the victim. You are the one always responsible for whatever is going on in the relationship that is not going on right. She will never take fault. She will never take responsibility for her actions. She will always play the victim card on you. And you, being the man that is so much in love with your babe, you always agree to the fact that yes, I'm the one at fault. You will always be the one to apologize, so that the relationship keeps going. When you're in a relationship with this woman, the woman that is never responsible for anything, especially when she's actually the one responsible for most of the mishap happening in that relationship, but she never takes responsibility for it. No, this woman is a very toxic woman. She's going to drain you. She's going to drain you to the last. She's going to make you feel helpless in that relationship. She's going to make that relationship feel like a burden. Okay, so whenever she's not ready to take up responsibility, whenever she's not ready to take up accountability for her actions in that relationship, she is a toxic woman. The second sign that shows your partner might be toxic is that, you see, your achievement becomes a competition. When you achieve something, it becomes a competition, because she has this competitive spirit, especially towards achievements, especially towards things that she should be happy for you about. Take for instance, you're promoted at work. Probably you're working at the same place of work, and you get promoted and she doesn't get promoted, or you get an increment in salary and she doesn't get. And then she begins to feel a certain way. She begins to feel like, why should you be the one? Why should you be the one to get the promotion? Why should you be the, why not me? You know, that kind of situation where she has this feisty competitive spirit. Okay, when you're in a romantic relationship with anyone, competition is really not healthy. And I'm not talking about competition of when you guys are playing maybe a video game or something. No, I'm not talking about that. Real life issues, real life achievements. Okay, she's not happy for you. Situation that warrants her being very happy for you, being very joyous that you've attained this particular height. It's about to be ecstatic. It's about to be happy for you. She is somewhat sad. She's somewhat not so happy. She somewhat feels she's one that should have achieved that. That person, that lady, is toxic. I read this quote from a book that says, healthy relationships are based on a mutual desire to see each other succeed. But when things turn toxic, it becomes a competition. Once there is any form of competition in that relationship, it is now a toxic relationship. Okay, the next sign that shows that your partner might be toxic for you in that relationship is that she is excessively jealous. Take for instance, you would normally hang out with female friends, okay, harmless colleagues, harmless hangouts, colleagues from work, and she turns it to be something else. Like, she is obsessive and possessive of you. She doesn't want to see you mingle with any other person that is a female. She doesn't want to share you with any other person that is a female. And by sharing, I mean just having a mutual relationship with just everybody, the way you relate with every other person. Maybe there is a mention of a friend of yours that you guys are really cool. Maybe there is a conversation between you guys, and then you mention a friend of yours that you guys are really cool way back, and then she flares up. Why would you say her name? Why would you tell me this about her? Why would you say this about her? You know, she becomes defensive. She becomes very agitated by just hearing that word, okay, hearing that name. It is not all right. It is not healthy. It is toxic, okay. Jealousy is a toxic trait that is very much needed in a relationship, but when it becomes excessive, it becomes a problem. When it becomes too intense jealousy, like you are not so jealous past the point of reasoning, you can no longer reason straightforward, just because of jealousy, it becomes a problem. That relationship is no longer healthy. it is now too toxic for you. The next sign that shows your partner might be toxic is she is controlling. She has to be in charge of everything that goes on around you, that goes on about your life. She tells you the kind of shoe you should wear, the kind of tie you should wear, the kind of food you should eat, when you should come back home, the amount you should spend, the kind of life you should live. She wants to be in charge. Like she begins to ooze masculine energy around you. You are the man. You are supposed to be in charge. When your woman step into the space where you are supposed to be in, it becomes a problem. I know there are controlling women that are controlling because they actually want to take care of you, but in this case, I mean, it becomes too excessive, it becomes unbearable. When you have a partner that is too controlling, that wants to be in every damn thing that your life, that surrounds your life, it is a problem. Okay, it is a problem. You're no longer free to do things you want to do. She tells you when to come back home. She tells you the kind of friend you should hang out with. She tells you the kind of calls you should pick. She tells you the kind of food you should eat. Kind of, no. Okay, you shouldn't allow that around you. It is draining and you are going to suffer mentally. The next sign that show that your partner might be toxic is money. She's so much concerned about money. She doesn't care about any other thing in that relationship. She wants you to spend your last dime on her. She is not interested in you investing, especially when it is a long-term relationship or when you guys are already married. She does not care. She does not care if you have some savings somewhere. Just bring out the money and get me this Birkin bag. Bring out the money and let's go on this vacation. Bring out this money and get me this hair, this luxurious hair. That is all I want, and that is how you can keep me in this relationship. If all she wants is money, 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 if all she needs from you is just that money so she can stay in that relationship, it is now toxic. I am not saying it is wrong for you to spend on your woman. You can spend as much as you like on your woman. It is very okay. But when money becomes the base of that relationship, she no longer cares if you're okay. She no longer cares if this money, he might not have it at the point at this moment, or it might affect his finances if he pulls out that money from his account. If she doesn't care about all that, then she's toxic. Sometimes, like I said earlier, men are being seen as the toxic one in the relationship. I've even done a video about toxic men in this on this channel. I'm likely going to link it in the description somewhere. Most times toxicity is mostly tagged on the men and then we let the women slide. But the thing is, women can also be toxic. They can be so toxic to the point that they push the man to the wall, and then this man does not know what to do. So that is why I'm bringing this video to your notice, so you know if your partner has any of these characteristics, any of these traits. Look out for these signs. If you can see more than 3-4 in your partner, that relationship is going to drain you out, except you jump out of it. Except you jump out of it like a moving train. You need to, find your way out of that relationship. The earlier you find your way out, the better for you. Thank you very much for watching this video up until now. I hope you have gained one thing or two. If you have, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thank you once again. I am Ijoma, if I didn't mention earlier. I love you and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.